Let's bring up Justine Steel. Justine, I'm so glad that you're here. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you again.
I'm so happy to have you as part of this event. It's incredible, and I'm very excited that you're here. It's been a little while since I've seen you. So let me introduce this amazing woman who you see before you. She's a mastery level transformational life and success coach. Can we all just give a hands down for that? She's also a speaker, a writer, and a mom. And she's going to be teaching you today about abundant healing and mastering manifestations because her mission is to guide soul-centered women and entrepreneurs on a journey of inner transformation, enabling them to experience greater joy, fulfillment, and success in their lives. So you are all in for another treat here with Justine. Again, thank you, Justine. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So go ahead and tell everybody what it is that you do with your clients. A little bit more
Mhm.
from you, because it's always good to hear. What is it that you do with your clients and why do you love it?
I work with soul-centered entrepreneurs and, kind of on both sides. So, life and or business. So a lot of people come to me looking for support with their business. And actually, often it ends up being a lot more around the transformational work or vice versa. But what I've found in my journey is that like if I could pick one thing, it really would be doing the deeper work with clients because I feel like that's been such a huge part of my own journey, becoming an entrepreneur, really clearing all of like the wreckage of my own past and really sort of like diving deep into my own journey of, you know, feeling worthy, feeling enough. I have a pretty big past of, addiction and alcoholism and some homelessness and, abusive relationships. And, when I got sober and life started to get better and I became an entrepreneur, I realized that some of the biggest things that held me back in the world were, the things left over from that part of my life. And, I really feel like it's been my journey to support people with similar things, and not always because they've had the same experience with me, but because in my experience it's like at our core, regardless of like the path we've walked, we all want to, feel beloved and belong and feel safe at the very very core of it. And so my work is really around supporting soul-led women to really come home to themselves in that way. And then the gift of that is being able to witness what they're capable of when that happens. So
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
powerful word that you use. This is still resonating with me, like the wreckage of your own past. And so many of the women
Mhm.
who are speaking here today have also walked through big journeys and challenges. And
Yeah.
why do you think that that makes women even better positioned to lead when they've walked through challenges, or not even just lead, because there are women who are here who aren't leaders, but why do you think it
Mhm.
makes women who are just walking a life's path better able to walk through it when they've been through challenges?
Well, I think it offers just perspective, an opportunity to really see yourself in others, compassion. And my experience in life is that life is a mirror. And so oftentimes when I'm working with a client and they're sitting in front of me, it's like I know exactly how to serve them. I know exactly how to support them because they're telling my story in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like that's the truth for, many of the people that I've worked with, whether they're leaders or not, is that like something they've either just gone through or moved through in the past is now, whether it's, a daughter, a friend, sitting in front of them. And now, they have that perspective and that opportunity to, be a safe space for them because of their journey. And so I just really do think there's so much meaning to all of it.
Yeah, it's so true. That's why it's so special that this event has come together, because it's women supporting and uplifting women, because we all know that everyone has been
Mhm.
through a path and a journey and so much. And for you to rise out of it, Justine, and be like at the mastery level that you're at as a transformational life coach, helping women to really dig down into the depths so that they can transform is a testament to your work and to who you are. So it's really incredible. I would love to give you the floor so that you can teach everybody a little bit more about abundant healing and mastering manifestation. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Okay, so I appreciate that. And I think there's, this wasn't the exact direction I was going to go, but when you mention that, it's like, that's a big part of why I do what I do, is because I often find myself thinking, it's like, why me? Out of all of the sort of people that were around me in my life, of a lot of people who never got out of the lifestyle that I was in, and somehow, some way I got out, and I'm here, and I'm able to share, and I'm able to really live a good, incredible life far beyond anything I ever could have imagined. And so, on one hand, that's a big part of why I feel so passionate in sharing this kind of work, and supporting women in this way. And on the other hand, it's like I'm just a regular person. Like, if I can do it, so can you. It's like, we really can overcome anything if we are willing to be with ourselves. So anyway, what I wanted to share is, typically when I'm working with clients, somatically, emotionally, mentally, behaviorally, and unconsciously. But one of the things that I want to talk about most today is somatic work. And specifically in relation to manifesting. And so what I mean by this, and I shared a little bit about this in my talk, but I want to go a little bit deeper into how this is happening, is that a lot of times, like, if you're like gunning for a goal, you've got, you're pulling the cards, you're meditating, you're raising your vibration, you're stepping into your highest self, you're really doing all of these things. And yet the things that you're desiring aren't necessarily coming to fruition, or like maybe like kind of, but like wah wah, you know what I mean? Has that ever happened? You're like, this is kind of what I wanted, but not fully. I know, and I speak from experience when I say this. And so one of the things that I discovered through my work is something that's really common in the coaching industry, which is like, people being pushed out of their comfort zone, right? You got to be out of your comfort zone to experience change. Like, change only happens in the unknown. And I don't disagree with that. But one of the things that I discovered working with, hundreds of clients and students, is that some people get really stuck, and no matter how much work they're doing, and, let me know, put a yes in the comments, like, if this resonates with you. It's like, sometimes no matter how much work you're doing, it can feel really frustrating because you're not really getting where you're going, or you keep butting up against the same sort of like limiting patterns. And so what I discovered is that for some people, and this was the case for me as well, is like, actually, my medicine is not so much in like putting myself in the fire of what I'm experiencing, but actually supporting myself in taking slower, smaller steps and really resourcing myself. And I'll tell you why. Because when it comes to manifesting, if we are operating out of a dysregulated nervous system, what do you think is happening to our energy, our vibrational field, right? How are you supposed to be an energetic match for what you're trying to call in? And imagine this is your nervous system, right? It's like, this is a healthy nervous system that's like, regulating the things that happen throughout our day, right? A little bit of activation, and then an ability to come back into homeostasis, right, on its own, right? But if you've got a nervous system that's like way out here in fight or flight, or way down here, right, in shutdown, in freeze, what do you think your energetic field is doing, right? And how are you going to call in or be an energetic match for that which you're seeking, right? And so for some people, yes, leap before you're ready, do the thing. And if you find you're consistently getting stuck, perhaps the approach for you is more about, how can I really support my nervous system in becoming more regulated, right? And for me, I mean, a lot of people use the term healing. I used it in my talk, but really what this is learning to be not just with the parts of us that are activated. It's like, yes, be with the fear. Yes, be with the upset, be with the sensation of not enoughness, right? But sometimes that's enough to put us into actual shutdown or more activation, right? And so if you've experienced this, actually the medicine for you is initially to support yourself in resourcing, right? Finding those moments. Some people call them glimmers, which I'm just waking up to, but really being able to, and maybe you could do it right now. It's like, I invite you to sort of call in an energy that feels loving, that feels kind, that feels unconditional. Maybe this is a pet for you. Maybe this is someone you feel unconditionally loved by. Maybe it's like a specific scene, a beach or somewhere where you've been in your life where you feel safe, where you feel accepted for you, right? And notice the sensations in your body. Notice the experience you have when you are there with this sensation. And what this does, just because time is limited here, what this does is when we actually like put our focus on expanding our capacity to be with our resource, is we expand our capacity to be there so that it's easier to go there. Like neurologically, we're creating networks in our mind that allow us to be in that energy more frequently and more naturally, right? So what do you think happens to your energy when you're actually able to be here in that resource of unconditional love and compassion,
Mm.
right? Does your energy expand or contract, right? Just checking in, just seeing. And so, and I think a lot of times we're trying to use the mind to manifest, to say, well, yeah, of course I'm enough. But if we have this unconscious programming running in our somatic body, right, telling us that we're not, right, our vibration isn't matching. So, and this is really profound for myself and for people who continuously get stuck. So
Jesse,
hopefully
this
that
is
serves you.
very profound. Like this is, I love this model that you're bringing here. And the word resource, can you all just put that word in the comments right now? Resource, because it's so powerful to remember as we're regulating our own nervous systems. I love that you're bringing it into this work because we talk about the not enoughness. And now you're
Mm.
relating it to the nervous system. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need an hour with you so we can dive into this topic even deeper. So I'll definitely bring you back. And what do you want to remind everybody as they're walking this journey of self-regulation and enoughness and all of the things that a woman walks through? What do you want to remind everybody of?
Hmm. I think, well, I want to say one thing about that link. If you just sign up for the newsletter, I'm going to be sending it out through the newsletter. And I think, like, in relation to that, I really just want to emphasize that, like, if I can do it, so can you. And I feel like this is a sort of, I don't think mantra is the right word, but an affirmation that actually I heard really early on in my own journey. And I remember just like repeating it to myself over and over again through the doubt. And now I find myself saying it so much to people who are like where I was, because I feel like it's so true. Like there's nothing, nobody is better or worse or more deserving than you, right? And it's like we're all equal and we all have the capability, physiologically but energetically as well, to come home to ourselves, to physiologically find that homeostasis, but energetically really coming home to our essence. And so just like really and truly, like, don't give up. Like if you're frustrated, if you're stuck, like it doesn't mean that what you desire isn't for you, right? It's like, just maybe there's a better way for
Yeah.
you and it doesn't have to look like it does for someone else.
Keep going. You can do this. So, Justine, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the festival and part of this live stream. It's an honor to have you. I always love your presence. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.